Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 tips for fat loss. Okay, so tip number one would be to track your intake. So you want to ensure that you are in a calorie deficit, and so to do so you need to know how much you're taking in. So you can either track calories or you can track macros, but if you only track calories, I would highly recommend you still track protein, because protein is a very important macronutrient. Protein is very satiating, and protein will also help you preserve your hard-earned muscle. So while tracking your intake, you have to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you are burning more calories than you are taking in. So a good starting point for most people will be anywhere from 10 to 12 calories per pound of body weight. Now that is just a starting point. Some people that are more active may need more calories. They can maybe start at 12 to 14 calories per pound of body weight. It really does depend. So track your intake, and if you're only tracking calories, I would highly recommend you at least track protein. And if you really want to dial it in, track macros. If you guys want me to do a video on how to track macros, I will do that in the future. Just let me know in the comment section down below and I'll get a video for you. Okay, so tip number two. Tip number 2 would be training program. So it is very important to have a structured training program when you are dieting. If you are just dieting and not doing any working out at all, you are gonna burn away your muscle along with the fat as well. So when you are dieting, you definitely wanna have a solid training program, still focusing on progressive overload in the gym, still challenging yourself. Just because you are dieting doesn't mean you have to do super light weights with high reps to burn the fat. It doesn't work that way. So you still should be training with a lot of main compound lifts like the squat, the bench press, the deadlift, the chin up, the strict press, the dip. All those movements are main compound lifts, and they're going to activate a lot of muscle tissue at once. And muscle is very important, so you need to be preserving it, because the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism will be. And also cardio. So a lot of people think that when they diet, they have to do excessive amounts of cardio. So the first 2 weeks they will do like cardio every single day. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to throw all the tools at once, because cardio is a tool. It is a tool to burn more calories. And if you are using all these tools in the beginning, and then you're say 4 weeks into the dieting phase and you're already doing an hour of cardio every single day, that means you're gonna have to bump it up and do like an hour and 10 minutes of cardio every day. You know, so in the beginning, don't do so much at once. Maybe cut your cardio sessions to maybe 3 times per week, for maybe like 15 minutes or something, and just kind of see how your body responds after the first 1 to 2 weeks, and then make adjustments from there. Okay, now tip number 3 would be track your progress. So it is very important to take photos and also take your body weight. So your body will be changing even though you might not be able to see it. So it is very important to take progress photos. So I have my clients take photos once every week, and that way we can go back and look at the photos from week 1 to week 6, or even week 3 to week 7. Either way, so that way you have the documentation and the data, and then also weigh yourself. So you don't want to get too tied up with your daily weights. What I like to do is go by a weekly average. So weigh yourself every single day, and then take the average of that week, and then you compare it from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. And if you are continuing to lose weight, then you are on the right track. So a lot of people, they get tied up with the day-to-day weights, and they basically judge their day by how much they weighed that morning. So they're like, oh, I'm down 2 pounds, and then they get comfortable, then they start eating more, and then they're basically back to where they started. Your day-to-day weight can change depending on the amount you ate, the type of food you ate, how much salt you had, your current level of stress, and how much sleep you had. So again, don't get too tied up with the day-to-day weight. Go by the weekly average. Okay, so tip number 4. Tip number 4 would be fasting. So fasting is an amazing tool, and I've done so many different fasts, and every time I'm in a dieting phase, I love to do fasting because it makes me feel like I'm still eating a lot of calories. So on a day-to-day basis, you know, say I'm eating anywhere from like 3,800 to 4,200, depending on the day and how much I'm training. So if I was in a dieting phase, I would probably drop my nutrition down to about 3,300 to 3,400 and just kind of start there. But then I would start implementing some intermittent fasting. So I would basically skip breakfast, and I would have my eating window smaller. So you skip breakfast and you have your first meal at say noon, and then you stop eating by 8 p.m. So what that is doing is taking all of your calories and just jamming them in a small window. So instead of eating like say 4 500 calorie meals or 600 calorie meals throughout the day, you're basically eating maybe 3 800 to 900 calorie meals in a smaller window. So you're gonna feel more full, you're gonna feel more satiated. And during the fasting, you can just kind of focus on getting stuff done. When I'm in the fast, I really like to just be productive. You know, I'm just like, all right, I'll eat at 12. I know I have a lot of stuff to do. I'll get a lot of stuff done. And as long as you are keeping yourself busy, you won't really think about the food. So fasting, again, it is an amazing tool, and I highly recommend it. And tip number 5. Tip number 5 would be to hire a coach. Now, it doesn't have to be me, although I do coaching, but if there's somebody that you know does coaching, or there's a fitness influencer that you follow that does coaching, and talk about coaching, or someone that you trust, try it out. What do you have to lose? So when you are hiring a coach, typically you're going to learn a lot about your body. You're going to learn about the strategies and tricks and tips that the coach will use. And also you will have a structured diet as well as training program, and telling you how much cardio to do. And it just kind of takes all the guesswork out of it. So that way you can focus on what you have to do and not really sit there and think about, oh, what should I do based upon, you know, your current data or how much you trained or how much you slept. So taking the guesswork out of it can really help. So I highly recommend hiring a coach if this is something that you've never done before. But if not, maybe just try it out. But using these tips that I have shared here will get you on the right track. And if you guys end up needing help later on, then I'll be here. Let me know. You guys can send me an inquiry on my website. And also I am coming out with a program that I'll be releasing pretty soon. I'm very excited for that. It's got a lot of information, a lot of data, lots of content, and it's gonna be awesome. So that is gonna be it for today's video. I hope it did help you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description box down below. I'd love to help you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. So that is gonna be it. My top 5 tips for fat loss. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.